Hey everyone, Jersey Kev here, back with another Philly Sports Weekly update. This one's going to be pretty quick, just because we only have news right now about the Philadelphia Union and the Philadelphia Phillies. Obviously, you have the sports with the Eagles. Everything is counting down to the start of the season as well, so I can't wait to start talking about Eagles. I got my Eagles gear going. Go Birds. But we're mainly going to talk about the Union and the Phillies. So starting off with the Union this week, they actually went ahead and they started the group stage of the League's Cup. They ended up beating Tijuana 3-1. And we had one guy that had 2 goals, one guy that had 1 goal, and they started and they won 3-1 in the group stage. That's a good start to the League Cup as that begins now. So the next games will be coming up, and I can't wait to see what happens. It's exciting watching the Union. The home crowd there is absolutely amazing. So yeah, the Union won 3-1 in the group stage of the League Cup. As we continue this week, we are going to be talking about the Philadelphia Phillies. So the Philadelphia Phillies had an enormous week this week. They had a 3-game set with the Brewers, and then they had a 3-game set with the Cleveland Guardians, who are currently going to be playing for that AL Central. The Phillies did not have a good week. They dropped 2 of 3 from the Brewers at home, and they went on the road and lost 2 out of 3 at Progressive Field at the Cleveland Guardians. So they only had a 2-4 week. This is a very disappointing week. This was a big week, especially with the Brewers being in the wild card. And this was also a big week because the Miami Marlins went 0-8 to start the stretch out of the All-Star break, so they were able to maintain ground. What stinks about this whole thing about them going 2-4 after starting 3-4 coming out of the wild card, or the All-Star break, is the fact that they are still right there in it. They're about a half a game back going into this week. They also have a big week coming up this week as well. It was just a really disappointing week to be a Phillies fan. I know a lot of Phillies fans got down about this week, but do not despair. It's a long season. They had some issues with their pitching. They had definitely some issues with their pitching as well. And to even squeeze out a game in Cleveland, they had to win in like extras. So it just was all around. They got shut out one game, 1-0. It was just a bad week all around for the Phillies, but don't despair. It's a long season. They're right there. I believe it's a half a game coming into today, which is Monday. So they're only about half a game out, but they do have a couple tough games. They start the week with the Orioles right now, so that is going to be definitely a tough week to start. But like I said, don't despair about the Phillies. Keep the faith, keep going to the games, keep getting loud. This team definitely has some time to really grow into what they need to do. They can get hot at the right time. I'm going to have some trade talk deadline coming next week. So next Monday, I'm going to have some trade talk. I think I might put out a video on Sunday, this coming Sunday, to talk about the trade deadline that's coming right before the end of July, which is next week. It snuck up on us quick. I'm going to go over what I think our Philadelphia Phillies are going to do. In other news, Scott Rolen got into the Hall of Fame. You can definitely correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there's only 5 or 6, I think maybe 10 total third basemen in there. So I definitely think Scott Rolen definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I know that he has a somewhat negative impact on the city as he left the city and left the Phillies and went to another organization because they would not spend money. That would not happen nowadays, I feel like, just because the ownership is definitely buying into what's going on. I think this is great for Scott Rolen. I'm really happy for Scott Rolen. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame with his numbers. Just take a look at it. He deserves to be in there. So that is your Phillies update. Thanks, everyone, for stopping by this Philly Sports Update. Until next week, I'll talk to you guys later.